2023, while performing his routine duties, an officer came across a suspicious vehicle in a church parking lot in Holman, Wisconsin.
Whoa.
The officer recognized a 42-year-old man as Ricardo, who was outside his vehicle working on something. Aware of Ricardo's numerous past encounters with law enforcement and observing his unusual behavior at such a late hour, the officer decided to see what he was up to. When the officer pulled up in his unmarked truck and identified himself as police, Ricardo wasn't buying it and quickly jumped into his vehicle while yelling,
Wonder what he was doing right there.
"I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, I am.
No.
You don't believe me?
You never want to have no threat towards a law enforcement officer because you could get in serious trouble for something like that, you know?
Oh, let me let you go. 702 at 28. Had an awkward contact with him. I'm going to follow him here for a little bit. He had yelled something about trying to kill me or wanting to kill me. Start me as suspicious for right now.
So
It was also discovered Ricardo was out on 3 misdemeanor bonds. And by the way, if you're interested in true into the...
So what is this, a
And
police
712
chase now?
traffic on here. I got a violation.
It don't look like the cop has his lights on, huh? So it don't seem like it's a police chase at this point, but I don't know.
I'm going to hold off though till I get a second unit for southbound Holman Drive coming up to Sunset. 702, I'm not even trying to stop him. We're going 60 now. He's increasing speeds. HD Sunset.
333. I'm northbound 35. I'll start angling that way.
Well, he wasn't even behind him right there, so maybe he was just watching to see how he would drive and everything.
326 and 35, no key.
702's driving erratic here. Still southbound Holman Drive, just ran a yellow light. HD and full.
He ran a yellow light and the cop ran a red light. Now, what makes most sense to you? That don't make no sense. In driving school, I believe that you're taught that you could go slow through a yellow light. But I'm not too sure about that, though. I ain't no driving school instructor or nothing like that. I'm a regular civilian, you know?
I'm still waiting for a second unit before I initiate a stop.
He gradually increased his speed, soon reaching 70 miles per hour in a posted 35 mile per hour zone.
30, let's see, that's about 40 more I think that's about 40 miles per hour over the speed limit to 35. I'm not too sure about it, but that's crazy. Right? I mean, why would you speed whenever you know a cop is behind you? That's the craziest thing to do. You ain't supposed to speed at all. Better yet, whenever a cop behind you.
705, I'm at the south interchange now.
0205, just make sure you kill your lights sometimes he doesn't see it. We are 70 southbound 35.
Due to his threat and erratic driving behavior, a high-risk stop was initiated and several officers responded.
702, I'm going to initiate a stop here, 35 and 02.
So at this point, it was a traffic stop, right? The officer was trying to conduct a traffic stop. What y'all think about that? What was it or not? Like, does he have on his lights?
Definitely for
Right after I said something. Gotta be kidding.
702, I think we're...
So that whole time he was basically just following the guy, you know, and making, like, watching what he was driving was like, probably.
We're going to stop here, 35 and OT. We're stopped, 35 and OT.
Who would want to pull over on that side of the road? Look how dirty.
When you guys get on a PA, we're going to order them out. Is there multiples? No, there's one. So you getting on PA? I'll find out. Get somebody on it just to order them out. You guys on?
What is PA? Is that like football? When the quarterback does a play action?
PA or you want me?
Driver, you are under arrest. Put your hands out of the window.
Didn't need that, but...
Put your hands out the window. Throw your hands.
And they said, go. He stepped out the whole truck. They told him just to put his hands out the window. No, that ain't something you do right then and there, because the cops could look at that as you know, you about to run for it, or you about to do him something or something, you know, stepping out the truck that fast. Oh, he don't want to play.
Order him back.
Oh, look at that. Oh, snap. That's crazy.
Get him right here.
Yeah. Stand up.
Is he on the ground?
Yeah, he's moved on the ground.
You gotta be kidding me. That dude got on his stomach whenever they were trying to tell him to stand on his feet. Man.
Get away from me.
Despite commands to exit the vehicle, Ricardo did not comply and would randomly reach into the vehicle.
Don't reach.
Hey!
Do not reach. Huh?
That's the
Reach.
worst thing you could possibly do in the middle of a traffic stop when the cop telling you to stand on your feet and walk towards them or whatever. bro, you reach back in your vehicle while they all looking at you and everything, bro. That's some of the most dangerous type of choices a person could make.
No, I got him.
Back up.
Watch his right hand. Ricardo, walk backwards.
Stop
Be on that dating app.
reaching.
Man, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. It looked like he was fooling with something in the back of his truck.
Reaching. Back up slowly. Stop.
Can you see another occupant?
And lift it up.
It looked like he was talking.
Back of your shirt.
Whoa, what's going on now? No way. Bro, they not telling him to put his jacket down and bend over?
Shirt by your collar. Lift it up.
He eventually began
Oh,
stripping
no.
off all his clothes and at
Bro.
one point dropped his boxers, exposing his bare ass.
I didn't hear them tell him that one time to do any of that.
Put
Bro.
your hands on top of your head.
No
Stop.
way,
Alright, well,
man.
this is getting weird.
You gotta be kidding
Hey,
me.
Ricardo!
Stop.
Ricardo!
Hands on top of your head.
Take some
Ain't
steps
no
to your
way.
right.
Walk to your right.
The other right.
That's your left.
Towards the grass.
They told him to walk to his right and he started walking to his left. Bro, I mean, whenever they say, you know, making all the wrong choices in the middle of a situation like that, that ain't no joke. You know, walking to your left whenever they tell you your right is definitely making the wrong decision.
You're right. Keep going.
Ricardo,
Then he
leave your
goes and
jacket
pick
there.
up his
Keep
shirt.
going to your right.
Slide
Leave it
to
there.
your right.
Keep walking to your right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
All right, stop right there. Walk backwards to the sound of my voice.
Oh,
I
no.
got hands, yeah. Leave the coat. Leave it.
They didn't say nothing about picking up the coat. They told him to walk backwards to the sound of their voice, and he starts picking up his coat. Boy, that is hilarious. You gotta be kidding me.
Go to the grass. Go to the grass.
Hamilton Road is
Go to the grass.
bridge collapse up. Brian Road.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Coming from this side.
I'm surprised he listened to get on the grass because he wasn't listening to a word they were telling him to do that whole time. You know, he got out the truck whenever they told him just to put his hands out the vehicle. They told him to walk over to his right and he started walking to his left. I was shocked just now whenever he got in the grass whenever they told him to. I thought he would stay out the grass.
That's not cool.
35 Ricardo.
I was speeding. That's what I was
What
doing.
was that rolled
guy
all
was
over
not
his
a
truck,
cop,
bro? It looked
dude.
like somebody
I am
took
that
some
guy.
black
You're not
spray
that
paint
guy.
and sprayed
That
all
guy,
over his
dude.
No,
truck.
you were not.
Made a comment you're going to kill me or
You were
something,
not
too.
that
That was
guy.
kind of weird.
You were not that
I
guy.
am that guy.
No, you were not.
I'll just check him quick and we'll try to get him stood up. 702, you can open the channel. I'll get one detained. He stashed the key.
Maybe when the cop first tried to go talk to him, maybe he didn't think it was a real cop. You know, maybe he thought it was a cop impersonator or something like that. You know, because they got people that do that kind of stuff. And they don't realize something that you could get in a lot of trouble for doing that kind of stuff. You know, faking like you a cop and everything like that. And I ain't no cop and I ain't no lawyer, but I know that as a civilian that you ain't supposed to do none of that because you could get in trouble for faking like you a cop. So that's why you don't do that.
He's on, that's what he was doing. So he locked it up. You got anything on you, bud?
No.
No, nothing at all? Okay, let's roll him my way. Okay. All right, bring your knees up to your chest.
Careful with my cell phone, please.
Yep, knees up to your chest. Come on.
I
I'm gonna help you get up. No, I want you to roll over this way, and I want you to bring your knees up to your chest.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Stand up. 1, 2, 3.
I can't move my legs up.
They did it like that.
Sure.
I'm gonna pull the pants up.
All right.
Man, they gotta be one crazy job, you know, being a police officer and everything. Because think about it, like that dude pulled his pants up. I mean, off on purpose, in the middle of the traffic stop. Whenever they didn't even tell him to do that, and then the cops had to be the ones to put the handcuffs on him, and then pick his pants up above his behind again. That's crazy. That's something I would never want to do is pick somebody's pants up like that, a grown man, and pick it up for him, you know, and put it above their behind and everything. I would never want to be in a situation where I had to do something like that. Like, forget that. You pick up your own pants, partner. Like, man,
Been here before, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you put your keys?
Keys are in my pocket.
Hands on your pants.
him, but yeah, you don't want to.
I'm going to my squad here. We'll search him, but he's got a bunch of crap in his pockets.
I
So.
would just make use of you guys so you don't get freaked out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Probably got something in his pockets.
Well,
If he got a
I'll go
bunch of
put it on my
stuff in his pocket, you never know what he got in there. It might be something
That was,
illegal.
that was like a straight strip right there.
It literally was.
So if you can bag that up,
But that's why cops, search a person before they put them in the vehicle, because they have to make sure they don't have anything illegal on them before they get in the back of the cop car. You get what I'm saying?
is that cool?
You just never know some days.
Mm-hmm.
He's usually got a lot of stuff in his pockets.
Yeah. Well, car is awfully full. What were you doing over at the church?
I was getting some dinner. Some guy came out of the woods talking about like, I'm a policeman.
I didn't come out of the woods. I drove up there. See,
Who even hangs out at a church in the middle of nighttime? You get what I'm saying? If you hanging out at a church at the middle of nighttime in your vehicle, I bet you it's gonna look kind of suspicious, right? Because no one knows what you're doing at church in the middle of nighttime. No one's having no church at the middle of nighttime. You get what I'm saying?
see what you were doing.
You didn't even see, how can you put your lights on then?
Why would I put my lights on? I was just seeing what you were doing. I wasn't pulling you over.
You wasn't you?
Yeah, you kind of took off like a
Of
maniac.
course I did. You think I want to die out in the woods?
You weren't in the woods. You were in a parking lot.
I don't care. It's still out there. Holman's home and it's kind of out there, brother. I don't want you to do this. All I did was reckless driving.
Appreciate you.
He could have been just eating some Burger King or something in the middle of the church parking lot, but why would you not eat it in the Burger King parking lot? You see what I'm saying? Like, but that's something to think about. Somebody buying Burger King and then go and eat it in the middle of the church parking lot in their vehicle. That's probably a possible idea of why somebody would do that. But at the same time, why wouldn't they just eat it in the middle of the parking lot at Burger King if they would, if they wanted to eat their stuff in a parking lot somewhere? You get what I mean?
Admitting that.
Speeding. The cross have been like $500 somewhere. Bunch of points taken off. I'll go to dummy class.
You act like you've done it before.
Been here, done that. Not drunk and driving, but not that.
Okay.
Now I gotta drive on eggshells. I haven't got no speeding tickets now. Paid my parking ticket already, so that's good to go. I gotta go to court on 26, by the way.
For what?
I could go for one of your stupid idiots for having a crush on my sister. And, you're Coleman, I guess, civilian.
You have to go to court because.
Either go on.
I wonder what cops do whenever they find a large amount of money on somebody, and they pull them over, and they find a bunch of cash in their wallet or something like that. Like, what do they do in that type of situation? Do they give the cash back to the person, or do they take it and put it in for the police officers for a bonus or something? Like, what do they do? I recently watched a movie about that, where I think it was Denzel Washington or something like that was the cop in the movie or something, and he would like do warrants on people. I mean, it's a movie, so it's really not true, but I wonder if anything like that is possibly true, where he would fake like the people had warrants, the ones that he knew had cash and everything, and he would go get their cash and not bring them to jail because he's just taking their cash, right? But I mean, that's just a movie though. I wonder if they do anything like that in real life, because that'd be some real crooked type stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you work real hard to get your cash and everything, and then the cop could take it from you.
Cop has a crush on your sister?
No, some real little nerd. Bag of glasses.
You have to go to court because.
Gotta go to court on 26 over there for someone over here in Holman. I gotta go to court on 26 for lacrosse with my stupid brother.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you at all here, Ricardo?
Oh, what's in my other one?
You got two wallets. I've never seen a man with two
Just got
wallets.
robbed in Sparta.
Got robbed, so you got two wallets?
Yes.
Isn't that double the chances of you getting robbed?
Bro, that's kind of smart to have two wallets though at the same time, because if you ever get robbed or anything, Rob asks you hand him that empty one. Oh, I'm sorry, I ain't got no money right now. You know what I mean? I ain't got no money right now. And but hopefully he don't see the other one. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of funny to have two wallets though. Like, why would you have two wallets other than that?
The chance that I may not get the right one.
Oh, so it's like one's a decoy,
Yes.
but they're both attached to your hip.
That's it.
The week after that, when he took the shopping rack and started beating everybody at Walmart.
Yeah, that surprised me because he's been so docile. I've talked to him so many times. It's his temper. Because somebody was talking to him in festival parking lot, and he threw a bottle, and he had it cleaned up and apologized. And by the time I got there, I was just like, "You gotta work on that, bud." That was one of my first time dealing with him.
I'm a cop. I'm like,
Some people have anger issues. You know what I mean? Like, some people really get angry whenever they whenever they feel a certain way about a situation, they just get angry and they don't know how to handle their emotion whenever they're angry. But that's why it's best to, try to work on handling your emotion better in any type of situation, even if it's involving law enforcement where you get stopped or pulled over. You got to know how to handle your anger to where you don't do nothing crazy or anything like that. Because if you do something crazy, you might face consequences and everything. And everybody knows that you don't want to have to face no consequence for anything. So that's why you got to stay out of trouble by making good choices and good decisions whenever you're thinking about doing anything that you're doing in certain situations like that. And if you're not involved in those situations like to where you could get in trouble or anything, then you never have anything to worry about as far as getting in like trouble or having any type of consequences for the choices that you made, right? You have already made the right choices towards those things.
I didn't got truck, and I'm like, that I ran, literally
That's
ran.
crazy. I don't know.
Oh, why'd you run?
Cause I don't want to get my.
That's really crazy.
Not you.
Oh, when?
He was kind of like cutting in on a lane to go around cars. Well, we're going to go to jail for probably reckless driving. He admitted he was reckless driving. He literally flat out told me he was. So we'll do that. We'll do some traffic tickets. I'm going to probably throw in a DC. We got traffic going by and he's taking his clothes off. So
This is what.
You know something about this video right here, bro? The solution to this problem would have been if he would have never reckless drove, right? Or never did anything like that, or if he wouldn't have been in the church parking lot, probably would have prevented all that from happening. So like those type of things you got to think about before you making the decision to make, to do those type of things. But it probably looks suspicious to the cop that somebody's in the middle of church parking lot at nighttime. So the cop is probably like, boy, let me go see what they doing. Maybe he didn't want to have a traffic stop on the person, but he was just trying to go see as a regular person, I guess, what that person was doing. Not trying to give him a ticket or anything, but just trying to see what he was doing. And whenever he was trying to see what he was doing, then the guy took off on him and started going, 70 in the 35 mile per hour zone and everything, and passing up cars in and out of the lane and everything like that. And then that's where he got himself in trouble, right? Because he told a cop something that was crazy whenever he was getting back into his vehicle at the church, whenever the cop, was just trying to see what was going on with him at the church. And he told him something crazy. And the cop got behind him whenever he started driving out of the church and everything. And then he started driving in and out of traffic going 70 and 35. That's where he got in trouble, right? Because 70 and 35 is, is something a cop could easily pull you over for and everything. And they got other cops to go there and everything. And that's what happened. He got pulled over and he did some crazy stuff, got out the truck and everything and did the crazy stuff. Acted like he didn't understand what the officers were saying by walking to the left whenever they told him to walk to the right. That's why you don't do those type of things, because in other words, your decisions that you make have consequences if they are bad choices or bad decisions, right? But if you make good decisions and good choices, you don't never have to worry about no kind of consequence for your choices and decisions. That's why it's always best to understand your rights and understand what you could and can't do, especially in the middle of a traffic stop or anything to do involving with law enforcement.